George hates worms. He doesn't like to touch them. He doesn't even like to look at them.
Yikes! It's a worm! I hate worms!
Screamed George.
What? You hate me? Do you also hate those pretty flowers?
Asked the worm.
No, I like them,
said George.
Well then, you must like me too. I help all of those grow,
said the worm. George had never seen a talking worm, but he still didn't like worms.
I am a great digger. I dig holes which help air and water get into the ground,
said the worm.
Plants need a lot of air and water to grow. Without me, the plants could not grow,
said the worm with pride. But he still didn't like worms.
I also make food for the plants,
said the worm.
Really? How?
Asked George.
I eat soil that is filled with small bits of plants and bacteria. They go through my body and out the other end,
said the worm.
Plants eat your poo?
Asked George with a laugh.
That's right. It is called fertilizer,
said the worm.
But you are so small. How can one little worm help?
Asked George. What George did not know is that this worm is not alone. Even in George's small garden, there are over 500 worms.
Oh, my friends work together to help your garden,
said the worm.
So, do you still hate me?
Asked the worm. In a shy voice, George said,
No, but you are very dirty and yucky. I'm not dirty. I am very clean. Feel me,
said the worm.
Well, I don't know,
George said quietly.
Come on. See, I'm not so bad,
said the worm.
Actually, you are kind of soft,
admitted George. Now George was beginning to like the worm.
But, worm, you don't have any bones,
said George.
That's right. I don't have arms or legs. I don't need them,
explained the worm.
You don't need them? How do you move?
Asked George.
I have muscles that go all around my body. I use them to push through the ground. Watch. It must take a long time for you to go anywhere,
George said with a laugh.
That's true. I am a very slow mover, but I like it here in your garden. So, I don't want to go very far,
said the worm.
Well, I am glad you are in my garden. You are a great helper,
said George with a smile.
Remember, worms are your friends,
said the worm.
I will.